students, welcome back to BBBN online classes, grade 7. We were in chapter number 5, lines and angles. Okay, so in the previous classes, what we have discussed, complementary angles. When you have any two angles such that their sum of their measures is 90 degrees, those angles are called as complementary angles. Then we also discussed supplementary angles. If you have any two angles such that the sum of their measures is 180 degrees, then those two angles are called as pair of complementary angles. Also we have discussed adjacent angles. Any two angles which have one common arm and the common vertex are known as adjacent angles. Then in the same way we studied linear pair. When two adjacent angles are such that sum of their measures becomes 180 degrees, that pair is known as pair of linear angles, a linear pair of angles. Then we studied vertically opposite angles. Whenever two lines intersect each other, two pairs of vertically opposite angles are formed and they are equally measured. This is what we discussed in previous class. Now today we will continue pairs of lines. What type of lines can we have? If we have pair of lines, we can have parallel lines or we can have intersecting lines. Parallel lines, see children, you must have seen railway tracks. Both the tracks, they are parallel to each other. The distance between those two tracks at any point is always same. It is always constant. It doesn't change. See, if you have a table, you see the edges of your table, opposite edges of your table, they are always parallel. They never meet. So parallel lines which never meet. The distance between these two lines at every point will be same. Such lines are called parallel lines. And intersecting lines, the lines which intersect each other, any two lines which intersect each other are called as intersecting lines, right? So you know the difference between parallel lines and you know the difference between intersecting lines. Here I will introduce one more term which plays a very important role in these pairs of lines, and that is known as a transversal. A transversal is also a straight line such that it intersects any two parallel or non-parallel lines at two distinct points. दो अलग-अलग points पे आपके पास, जैसे मान लीजिए ये pair of parallel lines हैं और ये pair of intersecting lines हैं. ट्रांसवर्सल का मतलब एक तीसरी लाइन, एक ऐसी लाइन जो इनको दो अलग-अलग पॉइंट्स पे इंटरसेक्ट करे. So this is suppose AB is parallel to CD. This is a pair of parallel lines. Now you have another line EF. It intersects the two lines AB and CD which are parallel. It intersects them at two different points. So EF is called the transversal. In the same way here you have line PQ and you have line RS. These two are intersecting lines. So if you have a third line which has to act as the transversal to these intersecting lines, it should cut them at two different points. Now this is the transversal. This is the transversal. But if it passes through the point of intersection, it will not be a transversal. ये ध्यान रखना आप लोग. Transversal तभी बनेगा जब वो इन दोनों लाइंस को दो अलग-अलग पॉइंट्स पे इंटरसेक्ट करेगा. ठीक है ना? So that is the transversal. So whenever you have parallel lines or you have intersecting lines and there is a third line which intersects these two lines at two distinct points, two different points, दो अलग-अलग points पे, that is known as transversal. So parallel lines में तो transversal obviously इनको intersect करेगा ही करेगा. Intersecting lines में ये ध्यान देना है आपको कि दोनों lines का जो point of intersection है, transversal वहाँ से पास नहीं होगा. Transversal हमेशा दोनों लाइंस को दो अलग-अलग पॉइंट्स पर ही इंटरसेक्ट करेगा. ओके, सो लेट अस सॉल्व सम क्वेश्चंस बेस्ड ऑन व्हाटएवर वी हैव डिस्कस्ड टिल डेट. इन योर चैप्टर 5, the questions which I will solve here, on the basis of those questions you can easily solve exercise 5.1 of your chapter 5. Okay, so let's see how we will solve the questions. Okay, now children pay attention. Say this is a line AB. This is another line CD. they intersect at a point. Okay. Now we know these two they form a pair of vertically opposite angles. If this angle is 60 degrees, obviously this angle will also be equal to 60 degrees. Now only this particular angle is provided and you have been asked to find all other angles A, B and C. Find out the value. So I know angle B is vertically opposite to this angle. So if this angle measures 60 degrees, angle B will also measure 60 degrees. Now I see AB is a straight line. So angle A and this angle, they form a linear pair because AB is a straight line. Linear pair means their sum will be equal to 180 degrees. So if this is 60 degrees, angle A will be 180 degrees minus 60 degrees, which is equal to 120 degrees. Now angle A is vertically opposite to angle C. So if A is 120 degrees, angle C will also be equal to 120 degrees. Okay. So these concepts should be very clear to you. Based on these properties of linear pair, vertically opposite angles, adjacent angles, you can solve the questions of exercise 5.1. In the next class, we shall discuss more questions. Bye.